Think of the best Future project. You have DS2, Monster, Hendrix, What a Time to Be Alive, The Wizard. But what if I told you that actually it's none of them, and instead it's a 7-song EP from 2019 that you may have forgotten about. Maybe you never even listened to in the first place. It's experimental, it's dark, it's introspective, basically everything that makes up a good Future song. And while it does contain some of my favorite Future music, it also contains haunting vocals from a mysteriously deceased artist, and has even been involved in a bit of controversy lately. But we'll go over all that and more in the video, so pay attention. So this piece of music, Save Me, is often regarded as the best extended project of all time. It dropped on June 7th, 2019, roughly 5 years ago from today, and it has aged beautifully. It was creative directed by Henry Alexander Levy, the founder of French luxury fashion brand Enfants Riches des Primes, also known as ERD. Levy directed the visuals, as well as creating the artwork for Save Me's cover, and to this day, his Instagram profile picture is that very artwork. Save Me was actually Future's second release of 2019, following The Wizard, which dropped in January of that year. This is one of the reasons why Save Me is very often overlooked when it comes to Future's discography. Massive hits like Crushed Up and First Off with Travis Scott were less than 5 months old when Save Me dropped, meaning that people weren't entirely ready for new Future music yet. Not to mention, on the same day as Save Me's release, we got Polo G's highly weighted album, Die a Legend, T Grizzly's Scriptures, Tyga's Legendary, and a bunch of other albums that shifted the focus off of Future's just little EP. Not to mention, he only began teasing the project a couple weeks before it dropped, on May 23rd of 2019. That's when he purged his Instagram and posted a clip of Love Thy Enemies, an emotional melodic ballad that ended up being the last track of the project. In this song, Future discusses how his past lovers have betrayed and abandoned him, disregarding his feelings in the process. There are also several biblical allusions on the track, such as the outro, which states, Love thy enemy, walk through the valley of the shadow of death. So this is actually a reference to Psalm 23:4, which reads, Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. The verse symbolically describes how humans must experience the death and darkness within earth on their path to finding joy and peace in heaven, and it is a reflection of Future's darkness and death within his life. There's one part of this song, a little past a minute, where Future can be heard coughing between bars. FBG member and producer Foxy spoke on this, saying, that cough was actually a real cough. He was smoking while recording and singing. I told him to keep it. It's beautiful. It's pain. It's honesty. Let it be natural. And he trusted me and kept it. Foxy actually ended up passing away the next year, in 2020, due to complications during a routine surgery, but we'll go over that more later in the video. On June 1st, a week before the project dropped, Future previewed another track, Government Official, posting a clip of the music video that would eventually accompany the release. This ended up being the biggest song off the project, and is by far the highest energy one as well. This song, alongside Xanax Damage, both debuted on the Hot 100. Xanax Damage was the last song previewed before the project dropped, when on June 3rd, he posted a preview of the music video. This song would eventually release as the first track of the project, and it features a beautiful introduction, which was actually voiced by Foxy, the producer/artist I mentioned earlier. He executive produced the album, and his haunting production and vocals are chilling given the context of his untimely death. On the Xanax Damage introduction, Foxy says, blood, blood, blood. Xanax dreams, Xanax, covered in blood, which sounds a bit like a premonition of his passing. There are no public details on what exactly went wrong with his surgery, but many surgeries gone wrong include uncontrollable bleeding. Additionally, I'm not sure if any of you guys have ever done the substance, but the feeling can be described as very similar to that of going under for surgery, so those lyrics are scary, man. On this track, Future expresses grief over a woman he only seems to love when he's at his lowest. He realizes that she's no good for him, but cannot seem to live without her. The song is beautiful, nearly perfect, with my only critique being the short length. Before I learned what I'm about to share, this was probably my favorite Future song of all time. It felt like a real diary note, poetic, introspective. It felt like a reflection of his life and mistakes. Super genuine, super relatable. But yeah, it turns out that it was actually not genuine at all.
I'm just impressed with you, but it's so hard, I don't think I can easily know you.
That shit's so hard.
But I want to show you
like this is like the real original.
Yeah,
this is the no. That was me singing that.
You.
That's the best one.
That was crazy.
Listen to the very original before, because I put all those drums and all them effects in there after I did this shit. Like, so listen to the very original. Like, so we could really slow it down and then speed it up. Cause listen how slow this shit is. Like,
you gotta start from scratch.
So yeah, Future's Xanax Damage was produced and written by Bobby Raps. He sold it to him, ghostwritten with this demos track. Basically, it's not even Future's song. This is actually a common practice within the rap industry, and Bobby Raps has worked with a lot of big artists before, writing for Travis Scott, producing for Chief Keef on his recent album Almighty So 2. But this song just felt so Future to me, and to find out that it's not, it's just heartbreaking, man. Then there were also those Nicki Minaj statements from a couple years ago regarding Future. So according to Nicki Minaj, Future is not even a real pill popper, and apparently he admitted to exaggerating his usage within his music. We aren't sure the validity behind these statements because she has been known to spew a lot of BS lately, but it wouldn't be the most far-fetched thing to hear. It's sad though, because a lot of people are trying these substances because of the rappers that they hear talking about it. And the rappers themselves aren't even living the lifestyle that they're promoting to the youth. So it's kind of like they're just doing it for profit, impacting, potentially ruining kids' lives. I mean, you can even see this with Juice WRLD.
You always had issues with drugs even before you started to get famous and rich?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was something that I was into early, low-key due to music. Cause like, I was a music head, so like in 6th grade, 7th grade, I'm hearing songs about sipping lean. Those are like the real influential years, I feel like, especially for like a boy. Like finding out who your role models are, what you like, basketball, football. That's like when you start kind of choosing the dreams you want to chase, damn near.
Right.
So my family putting me on to all this different music, Future, Gucci, all these niggas talking about drugs. Bro.
You can't help but ignore how fun or how interesting, at least, they're making Xans and Lean and all this shit sound.
Yeah, bro. Like, when I heard Future, the first song I ever heard by Future was Ain't No Way Around It. The second song I've ever heard by Future is Dirty Sprite, like off the first Dirty Sprite mixtape. And that shit had me wanting to sip lean at like 11, 12 years old, bro.
And we all know how this turned out. He obviously passed away due to these substances that were first introduced to him through rap music. And artists like Future, Gucci Mane, the people he mentioned. It's an interesting dilemma, and one that there's obviously been a lot of conversation of over the effects of rap music on the youth and stuff like that. At the end of the day, it is a beautiful song, beautiful music. The project is great. I think it's the best future project of all time, rivaled only by maybe Hendrix, you could say. But the thing is, too, critics did not like it. The critic reviews for this project were very low, while the user reviews for this were very high. And I think that shows a clear distinction between, you know, what the media wants to like and what the people want to like. You see this with movie ratings as well, where a movie will be loved by the general audience but hated by critics. And I don't know, I think the people's score is a lot more meaningful than what this small group of critics think. But let me know your opinions on this in the comments. Have you listened to the project? If not, you should, and let me know your thoughts on it. I appreciate you for watching though. Make sure to like and subscribe for daily uploads, and peace.